But what I want to talk about are the good people over at DraftKings and DraftKings Casino. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, their new app that they have, and it is phenomenal, like we always talk about with DraftKings. But with their casino app, man, you're able to on your phone, right on the app, you can bet on some of the slot games, the table games, any of your board style stuff. I mean, you talk about blackjack, roulette, any of that type of stuff, and you're able to play right on this app right here, man. It's an awesome concept. And the thing that I absolutely enjoy the most about DraftKings Casino,
they're generous.
Very generous is a nice way to put it, right? Because if you use the promo code MOATS, you will receive not $1,000, but $2,000 in deposit bonus money, ladies and gentlemen. It's an awesome situation. You can't beat it, honestly, man. Shout out to DraftKings Casino for that and for them rocking with the show. But, Deke, we know every once in a while we have to talk about disclaimers, information. I get that. But I don't want to go there just yet. So what I want to say is this also. If gambling isn't available, like the sports gambling and stuff like that, or just casino gambling isn't available where you currently live, don't forget about DraftKings Fantasy Football app as well, okay? Where you're able to do some of the... We did that out in LA as well, right? That was a lot of fun, man.
Whoa.
Or no, LA,
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah, we did it in Green Bay.
Head-to-head showdown.
That was dope, man. So, you know, you could do the head-to-heads and stuff like that. They're giving, I think, it's $1 million in prizes weekly on their Fantasy Football app. So you got some options with that. But last and certainly not least, if you have a gambling problem, if you need counseling, if you need referral services,
don't be hesitant.
Don't wait. You better call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Next on the super chat, we got No Limit says, we almost came back, like as a quote.
Air quotes, yeah.
He says that's seeking comfort.
I would agree, but I still like it in a sense, though. We'll get into that. Or should we start with that?
Yeah, that's one of my silver linings, if anything, from yesterday.
Talk about your silver lining then, man.
I mean, the fight back, like that was impressive. You're down 29 points. To come back and almost win it, 3 seconds away, one pass away, which on the money pass, he catches that. We're going for 2 to try to tie it up to go to overtime. Like, you couldn't have asked for anything better. Now, I know you could probably nitpick on, like, do you do this or do that? But, damn, that's the chance you would have asked for with – because we had the ball with, like, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. We're down 29-0. If you would have told me we got the ball 3 seconds left, we're at, like, what was it, the 15 or 20. We have one pass to win the game. Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Like, that would have been impressive.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was impressive because I appreciated the fight. Like, as much as we could shit on the offensive line, first 3 quarters, I thought they started giving Ben time and Najee time. In the last quarter, in the fourth quarter, we saw Najee break off some of the runs. And then defensive line, front 7, as shit as they were in the first half, 3 quarter. Actually, third quarter, they kind of...
Third quarter, they turned it on.
Yeah, because their total yards were down. Vikings total yards were down in the third quarter. But yeah, they stopped them. They made stops. Akello Witherspoon, secondary, all that type of shit. They performed in the fourth quarter. That's what gives me hope. It's just like, man, why can't we string this all together?
Yeah, we are a very inconsistent team, but both of those teams were yesterday, and I think that's why both teams' records reflect, you know, what they are right now in terms of one being 6-6-1 and one being 6-7. In terms of not even the we almost came back narrative, I just do like the mentality though as a whole, right? That fourth quarter, that finish, because that is something that has come into question on multiple occasions now, right? When we're talking about this team,
Broncos game.
The Bengals one, the blowout Bengals one, where it's just like, man, you're questioning, do guys have heart? Do guys want to fight? Do guys have that effort? And then to an extent, okay, coaching staff, are you coaching these guys to be like that, or are you allowing these guys to be like that as well with some of their effort and some of their lack of
changes
discipline
throughout the game where it's like, all right, we're not putting up with this shit anymore. We got to make a change.
Like I was impressed by that as well. The coaching staff stepping up, pulling guys out that weren't playing well. When like you said, when you saw Claypool out, but then you saw Devin Bush and Joe Schobert out, I'm like, yes, unfortunately it had to come to that, but that's how they were playing. And Devin Bush he made some plays.
He made some plays.
He's the
reason we got that pick.
He made some plays, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, everybody got to play better. And it's not just on them. Trust me,
Marcus Allen didn't play good either.
Not at all. Not at all.
Played worse, maybe.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and we talked about that when we said when you're talking about replacements. Like, man, just know what we could potentially be going into when you go down that line. But some of the guys that, man, still just jumped on the screen to me. Minkah Fitzpatrick. In the midst of all that was going on from 4 quarters, that man was balling out. He showed up because, Harrison Smith was there. He said, man, I'm going to try to show that I'm a better safety. And I thought he definitely held his own in that matchup. Akella Weatherspoon stepped up big time. Two big turnovers. Man, impressive. Needed that, right? We needed it. Taco Charlton, to an extent, I thought that he came and provided some good pressure. Didn't give us the splash that I necessarily thought Highsmith was going to be capable of, but I thought that he still
pressure enough to throw off throws.
Another guy on defense, Montravius Adams, continues to find the ball. You could say, hey.
Yeah, whoever was in on the defensive line in that fourth quarter, they got enough pressure to throw off Cousins. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, if he was there,
and
big props to him.
And then when you talk offense, 7, man. It was at points in that first half we was legit concerned for 7, like health-wise, because he was taking some shots. And it was just like the O-line was reverting back to the Raiders game where it was like, do y'all care about 7? I mean, he's getting blasted. He's rolling around trying to get up. Nobody want to give him some love. Like, what's happening here, babe? What's happening? That part, I was like, man, but to see him still have the resiliency to stay in the pocket, to trust these guys late and make some crazy throws. Like, he was putting that ball on the money. That was vintage. That was vintage right there.
Well, yeah, the one hit he took, was it the Harrison Smith sack?
Yeah.
You're like, bro.
Yeah.
I thought it was like concussion, bro. But luckily when you saw the slow motion replay, his head didn't hit the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. Like, offensive line was god awful. And that's what
they couldn't block the double mug. And this is something, the frustrating part was with Zimmer. He's been doing this since Cincinnati days. It's not anything new. Did it when he went to Oakland. I mean, this is what he runs. He's going to put two guys, Walton linebackers up in that A gap, and you got to communicate that thing. If you can't communicate it, you just zone it up. All right? Block inside out, and you'll be fine. But for some reason, our O-line could not figure that thing out to save their lives in the first 3 quarters. And like you said, Ben was getting killed because of it. But once again, to see how he finished the game out, super impressive. Najee Harris.
Yep.
Can we talk, like, he wasn't the best running back in the building last night, but man, oh man, he got hurt, and that's the thing I did. Like, I was like, man, because he was saying they won't do him no favors. They won't help my man out at all. But he showed crazy heart and resilience, man. The fight that he plays with, overall toughness, man. Like I said, it was certain players that I thought did some really impressive things, but as a whole, just too inconsistent. James Washington, really impressed with him as well, just because, like you said, knowing his situation. A guy that they forget about at times in terms of usage, but then he comes up and he makes big time plays. This is why we want him out there and get some opportunities, and why we thought his role would be a little bit more significant when Juju went down. It's unfortunate that it wasn't, but this is, some of the things that he's been capable of.
Yeah. All that we just talked about, in addition to that, we didn't have Joe Hayden out there.
Yep.
TJ Watt or Highsmith in the second half. Gives me hope. Now, we got 10 days for TJ, I guess, with this groin. Highsmith knee, are they going to be back?
Well, I should ask you, groin-wise, he'll be fine, right? Because you told me when it was the hip and the knee, he was like, oh, I ain't worried about that. And then when it was COVID, it was like, you come back in like 4 days for the COVID.
Well, he had the 2 sacks in Buffalo, right?
Yes.
Coming off the groin.
Was it 2 or was it 3?
I think it was 2. One of them was a big strip sack. It might have been 2.5, something like that.
I thought it was 2.5, yeah.
But that was the groin. So did the groin injury disappear after that, and it was new stuff?
What was Green Bay? Was Green Bay groin?
I can't remember.
I don't remember either. Or no,
he's got 10 days now.
Yeah.
But I just imagine us adding Joe Hayden. If Akello keeps, bro,
if he could play like that, that's different.
Keep playing like this.
Yeah.
Now we got Cam Sutton in the slot. Our main issue will probably be linebackers, because defensive line. If we want to,
who are our linebackers?
If we want to throw TJ and Highsmith kind of into our defensive line, because sometimes we run the 4 down linemen, whatever it is. Them 2 plus Cam Hayward, we throw in Wormley, whoever it is, plus Montravius Adams. We could be all right there.
Yeah.
Plus the secondary now, if O'Kelly keeps playing how he is, Joe Hayden, Minkah, Terrell Edmonds. Yeah, linebackers, that's an issue. But Devin Bush, I mean, he's still, if anything, stock point in the right direction compared to how he was playing.
Which linebackers would you start next week?
I think you just go with the same 2. Bush and Schobert.
Oh, okay. Because were they out there when the comeback happened?
Were they? A little bit.
A little bit.
Because I saw Allen out there a little bit too.
Buddy had
but he didn't look good either.
Yeah.
What do you say? I'm more interested in what you got to say.
Bro, I'm lost. I don't know.
Buddy Johnson.
Right now,
I'm saying people talk about Buddy Johnson now.
I don't know what to do right now, bro. I mean,
maybe we should have picked up Zach Cunningham.
Son. When I was watching it, I'm just like,
Vince Williams.
Oh man, yeah. I just, whew. It's not the best of options right now. Just coming off of this game, and that's the part too for me. I feel like I need more because it hasn't been 24 hours just yet. So I feel like I'm still feeling the negative ramifications of all those guys that were at linebacker yesterday. So I really don't feel like I'm in the proper headspace to say who. We're gonna talk about that next week though. Maybe next Tuesday, Wednesday, one of them days. Then I'll have a cooler head, a cooler mind, clearer thoughts, and be like, okay, let's go with this guy. Because right now, I don't want any of them out there personally. I mean, we talked about some of the things that Devin did well, but dude, Dalvin Cook rushed for how many yards in that first half?
Yeah,
like.
It was easy.
Like, come on.
It was easy. It was
Joe Schobert. Like, come on, man.
My buddy told me a stat, I think in the second quarter, halftime, whenever it was, that he had double digits. It was either 10 or 11 yards before even contact.
Yes, yeah. It was
in the first
crazy.
half.
It was something crazy, bro. Like, watching him run, I'm just like, yo, some of this is out of his gap. Some of this just, we getting just blown off the ball. Like, bro, what the heck are we doing? Like, it was just embarrassing, man. It was embarrassing.
The funniest thing to me, though, is the Vikings were absolutely idiots in the second half, too. They stopped running. They threw it on first down. Yeah. That's how we got the pick. And then even the bomb that they scored the touchdown with, that was, I'm not going to say that was the best case scenario, but that was a better case scenario than them
running the ball
consistently, because the time was the one thing we were most worried about. Once they did that, it's still a 2-score game. Now so we just got to score 8 both times, and how the offense was rolling, we could score quick, and that's what happened.
Absolutely, man.
Vikings played that idiotically in the second half, but I'll take it.
But it was just nuts because that's who the Vikings are, though, right? And that's who Kirk Cousins is as well. When you talk about, just think about his performance last night. At times, he looked elite. And then at times he looked god awful.
Yeah, missed Jefferson wide open once Cousins, or twice. Though. But then Jefferson could have had a better game.
Oh, yeah. He dropped a couple. Yeah. And that one of the picks. I mean, now granted, Devin tipped it, but it's still, it hits him in the hands. Like, it's a catchable ball. Yeah, Jefferson definitely, and that's the crazy part. He didn't have his best game, but his impact was still just, we didn't have a guy out there that could cover him.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to you even before we recorded. That touchdown, I can't really blame Sutton. I know Sutton didn't have a good game. He was kind of ass, but we blitzed a couple times.
It was, but
like 7 or 8 guys.
Yeah.
If we can't get pressure that quick, our corners are on an island out there.
Yeah. I had a hard time faulting Cam Sutton because outside of Pittsburgh, I don't think anybody in their right mind would believe that Cam Sutton could check Justin Jefferson outside of Pittsburgh, outside of us as fans, outside of the coaching staff, because you watch Justin on tape and it's like, man, this dude is different. You're not just doubling him softly. No, you better make it look like a clear double so Kirk doesn't even want to throw it over there. And you can see they started running the crossing routes, right? The deep over routes. So that way you really can't even double it to that extent. But Cam Sutton can't check him. And I love Cam is my guy. But I'm like, you can't check that guy like that. You would watch how timid he would be of getting ran by on some of these in-breaking routes. I'm like, Cam ain't trying to close down on that. You know why? Because Cam worried about him running past him on this deep bomb right here. And that's what Justin is. That's what makes him so elite. Like, and like you said, he wasn't having a good game. Like, that for him is probably a bad game. No, it really is. For him, that was a bad game. Like, the amount of times ball hit his hands and he doesn't come down with it. That's not him. I mean, the one touchdown he dropped in the end zone, that was crazy too. That would have been the first one that he dropped. That was the first one, and that was. Cousins put it right there.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
he put it.
It was a little ouch. It's like ticky tacky, and that dude, I bring that up too with Deontay dropped 2 touchdowns.
He
man,
did.
Like the first one was absolutely on the money. The Ben rollout, that was perfect. We scored the next play with Najee, but then the other one where Ben stepped up in the pocket.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
I get it. Like, was it
in the back of the end zone?
Pass of all time?
Of the end zone.
It hit you right in the hands, man. Like. It's unfortunate. We're back to that with Deontay.
You got to come down with those.
You absolutely do. Yes. I don't think that cost us either because it was the next play that was the pass interference on Deontay. Then we punched in with Najee. At the same time, you would like to see those caught.
Yeah, we definitely had the drops though, bro. We definitely.
Am I wrong? I thought that was a good pass by Ben. The one where he stepped up in the back.
The biggest thing, and part of it was, I think, the way that Deontay was going for the ball, and part of it might have been the throw to just a hair more inside. But to me, when I'm watching how Deontay went for it, I'm like, I don't know. I think you just gotta grab that, man. Grab it. Just get the ball. Now, like I said, I ain't no wide receiver, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But just grab the ball. I would like to see him grab the ball.